The exception to the lead renovation, repair, and painting rule: for work that disrupts 6 square feet or less of painted surface applies to each individual room and is inclusive of all work done in the room in the 30-day period. I'm reading that from the federal EPA page. I can disrupt more than 6 square feet on the outside of a house, but I use the inside of the house rules. I just don't want to get any more fines. I've had my share. Time for the lead inspections. We'll do the lead inspection first, and then we'll do the city inspections. I call a lead inspector who's very, very nice, does a real professional job. I do not like these inspections. They just drive up the cost to the tenants. It's a real shame. If I can get away, squeak out from under these costs, maybe $700. That's still over $50 a month that goes out of the tenant's, budget. That's a shame. And I really don't believe it does much. You'll see my houses get a lot of paint over time, so although they could have flaky paint on the inside somewhere, that's not always the case. So anyway, my tenants wouldn't put up with flaky paint. On the outside though, we have ivy growing, and I pulled that ivy down, and when the ivy came down, it pulled some of the latex paint off. So you'll see me patching that up first. Are you old enough to remember what this is? I have to admit, I saw this 2 days ago, and I thought, I know what that is, but couldn't remember. And then this morning I finally remembered. So what do you think? This is the only clue right there. Cut nail. So the inspection process works like this. You want to check for peeling paint. And in this particular case, I pulled ivy off, and I pulled paint off as well. So it's a system. You don't go for perfection. You go for safety, and then you return to perfection. On this side, the inspector would say fine. There's no damage to the paint surface at all. It can be dirty. It just can't be a crack or a peel. What I mean by crack is something really, really large, like peeling back kind of crack. Whereas on this side, where I pulled the ivy off, I also pulled the paint off. So I am going to quickly just touch up these spots, and that'll be as far as safety. That'll pass. And then we'll come back and repaint the whole thing, and that'll be as far as perfection. I'm not sure how well the camera's going to show this, but you can see the spots. Every spot is where I painted. Now you're thinking, why didn't you scrape the ivy off, like right there? You are not allowed to work on a surface larger than, I think it's 2 by 3 feet. And so if I began scraping, I risk scraping paint off, which you and I know it's latex because I'm the one that put it there, but everyone else has to assume that it's lead-based paint because of the age of the house. So it's not, but we have to go on that assumption. So I have to stop at this point. This satisfies both the lead inspector and the city inspector. Doesn't satisfy the mother of a tenant, and it doesn't satisfy you or I. But this is the first step and stage. I have to now break off, and I can't come back like tomorrow and continue this because you have to abide by the federal laws. I could come back, say, in a month and do some more. Now what's actually going to happen is the wall is going to get painted. It'll get scraped another time with the ivy and things like that, and it'll be gently done so not to release any possible lead or latex into the air. But after that, the whole thing will get painted. I could have painted, I'd say half this wall in the time it took just to do these spots. So we're not talking about a lot of work. We're just talking about it has to be done per the rules. Okay, let's go look at something else. Oops, I knew that this tenant had moved, but I didn't realize he left me a whole bunch of trash. I would have had this picked up a day, or let's see, when did I talk to? A day ago. Oh well, I'll take care of it now. Some may ask, why let the ivy grow? My answer is I went to Ivy League schools. I like the look of the ivy. Yep, Harvard, Yale, Princeton. I've been to all of them. And I even drive by all the time.